Henry Cavill did another interview. I'm going to watch part of it here, at least what appears to be relevant to Warhammer in a little while, and give my thoughts and commentary on it. Now, this interview was primarily about the Argyle movie that Henry Cavill was in, which has failed pretty miserably. Now, if you're new to Warhammer 40k or have been living under a rock the last few months, you may not have heard that Henry Cavill, the actor known for his roles as Superman and Geralt of Rivia from the Witcher series, among many others, has been signed on as executive producer with Amazon to do a major effort in the Warhammer 40k universe. Henry has mentioned last summer that he'd be involved with Amazon to do Warhammer, but it took some months for the deal to get finalized with Games Workshop, Vertigo Entertainment, and Amazon, and for the nature of his involvement to be known. Now, we know he will be an executive producer, but to be clear, just because he is an executive producer doesn't totally mean he has complete control of what gets made. That may sound counterintuitive, but the Rings of Power show, yes, that disastrous Tolkien world-destroying mess Rings of Power, had something like half a dozen executive producers and other producers. So actually, I think it was even a dozen total. So I'm waiting to see whether his Warhammer stuff will be helmed by him and him alone. So I'm hoping to get some tidbits of information from him. I haven't watched this yet, but I'm going to be surprised if he drops any bombshells here. They are super early in the process. I'm sure they're just working out the preliminary stuff, finding people to collaborate with, to brainstorm ideas. That said, I am pretty sure Henry already has an idea of what he wants to do. It's just a matter of whether that gets dropped on purpose or by accident. I don't expect him to, they want to keep the mystery alive for as long as possible. I don't know. You tell me what you think, but he's going to be careful about what he says. So anyway, let's get this going and see what he says.
Connections in the past, because this goes way back to Stardust, of course, 2007.
Yes.
Henry, give me a sense of where you were at in your life when that came around, because by looking at the career, you were a working actor, you had a prosperous career, you'd done kind of Monte Cristo, maybe Tudors was around.
Count of Monte Cristo was really good. If you guys haven't seen that. Now, Henry's role wasn't huge in that. He was one of the main characters, but I wouldn't say it was huge. It was definitely outstaged by the main lead, but that was a really good movie. Okay, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here, see if... Now, what I am looking for, it's not just talk about Warhammer, but anything that may give some insight about the direction he would take Warhammer that he may drop unintentionally or that's relevant to it.
I know you can't say anything about this, Henry, but I've talked to Chad Stahelski a bunch. I'm so excited for you and Chad to get together.
Thank you.
On Highlander. This has all the ingredients of something very, very special. Were you a Highlander fan? How did this? So what's your passion for this material? What are you excited about exploring with the Highlander world?
I'm going to have to answer that very carefully.
I understand.
Highlander is also another IP that I am worried about getting destroyed, retconned, and politicized, because, as you know, that's the direction. That's what they take these old IPs, these movies, and they do remakes. And you'll ask yourself, why are they doing so many remakes? It's erasure. They are erasing all this cultural stuff. They are appropriating it, repurposing it, and inserting their politics into it. Because a lot of them are creatively bankrupt. They can't come up with their own ideas, but it's also about erasing this stuff, taking it from the fans and the demographics that they hate, stealing it and destroying it. So anytime I hear that they're remaking something or they're going to restart something like Highlander, I am really worried about it getting destroyed. And that's one of the concerns I have with Henry doing Warhammer, not because Henry would want to, but because of the enormous pressures on him by these companies and these political bad actors to push him to destroy Warhammer, destroy the IP, to change it, alter it, insert a bunch of stuff into it. We see this in everywhere. So I haven't looked to see who all is involved with the Highlander project. I would have to look at who's producing it. what studio's behind it. I know nothing about it, so I love the original Highlander, and I love the fact that Henry's a fan of it. That's cool too. This guy just keeps scoring points with me. Okay, skipping ahead a little here.
They've got a point.
Yeah.
One other thing, I know it's early days, but Warhammer, I mean, there's nothing more close to your heart than this. I know this.
That is true.
There are a few other things.
Well, yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Cal,
Yes, there's Warhammer and then there's sex. And they're not mutually exclusive. I mean, a creative person would find a way to make both of those happen at the same time. So then when you're really saying is there's nothing better than Warhammer sex.
Professionally speaking.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a heart outside of work.
he does.
Yeah.
But it must be so exciting to be able to actually like dive into this world and be the one of the ones that is just steering the ship and figuring out what the world you want to create is on film and TV. What's this experience been like so far?
It is the greatest privilege of my professional career to have this opportunity. I can't say too much again. It's early days still. But to have this opportunity to bring it to the screen and be at the tiller so it can be faithful.
I do like that just about every time he talks about Warhammer, he talks about keeping it faithful to the IP and respecting IP. I love that about this guy. I have no doubt that he is aware also that the fans love that he says that. So whatever happens, at no point am I going to say Henry sought out to destroy the IP. If Warhammer gets perverted or destroyed, it will be a simple matter of him being overwhelmed and having to relent to pressure or something along those lines against his will, much like they did with Witcher. But the fact that he hammers down on this over and over, I mean, he's also signaling to Amazon and anyone else who's involved that this is a huge deal to me. I'm going to fight any pressure to change it. So he's saying this to fans, but I think he's also saying this to Amazon. What do you guys think? You think he's telling Amazon and various media that this is what they're going to get and he's not going to stand for it? I think he is.
This is key to me. And this is the stuff I've been dealing with since I was a kid. This is sort of is the stuff I spend my free time daydreaming about as an adult as well. And I get to bring it into life. And there is no greater reason than I joined the industry than doing.
You got to love his passion. He very obviously loves Warhammer, and that's the best sign and biggest hope for him to not give in to pressure to change it. That's another thing he always mentions in these, just how much he loves this. And that's great. That's exactly what you want to hear.
Something like this. And I'm very happy to be here.
Have you tried to get Matthew into Warhammer or gaming at all?
No, not
Gaming.
yet.
I love gaming. Wouldn't be gaming at all. But we've spoken.
Yeah.
I'd work with Henry in lots of different ways.
Okay.
Yeah, watch the space.
Okay, fair enough. The happy, sad, confused, profoundly random questionnaire. Either you guys can take any of these. I know the answer to this, but dogs are, that's okay. Dogs or cats,
Dogs.
Dogs.
Yeah.
even despite the Argyle cat.
There is no cat better than a dog. Full stop.
It's very obviously dog. If Henry had said that he loved cats over dogs, that's also a sure sign that things are going to go very badly for Warhammer. If you love Warhammer, you love dogs. I'm sorry, but all these people out there, that's probably one of the biggest criticisms of Warhammer, why they're trying to change things, because it's a bunch of cat lovers who hate dogs, and they know Warhammer fans are dog fans or guinea pig fans. I mean, obviously guinea pigs are superior to dogs, but you can have guinea pigs and dogs. I mean, that's possible, but you can't have cats and dogs. Anybody who does that, that's just crazy.
By the way, so it's Cal and Baggins now too, right?
Yes, Baggins is the new addition to
And
the pack.
Baggins, I take it, is named after, I know your Lord of the Rings love.
Yes, yeah. He's because where we live is particularly Shire-esque or Shire-like. We felt it suitable that our little creature would be called Baggins.
Love it.
We got a Bilbo? Get another dog, Bilbo Baggins.
I think we'd find something else. I mean, because he's small and cows.
He's even a Tolkien and Lord of the Rings fan. This guy just scores points with me every time he gives an interview or does anything. I wonder what he thought of the Rings of Power, though. Bet he's not going to comment on that, not after signing on with Amazon. Oh yeah, Amazon, your Rings of Power show sucked, by the way. Let me do Warhammer 40K. Of course, he actually might have brought that up, tactfully, as a way to convince Amazon to do Warhammer. Hey, you don't want another Rings of Power, do you? Let's do Warhammer and put me in charge. Who knows?
Do you guys collect anything, respectively?
Warhammer.
Art and wine. But I drink the wine.
I'm sorry.
I don't think you collect wine if you drink the damn stuff. It's gone. But I do collect.
Yeah.
Art's a big passion of mine.
I'm getting to wine as well, but unfortunately, I do also like the taste of it.
With it.
Yeah.
This does appear to be the end of, well, anything Warhammer related anyway. You guys can watch the full interview. So it's not so much what he is saying, it's what he's not saying. He's not dropping a lot of little things that I would normally be hearing from people who are going to take well, I mean, there are exceptions, though. The showrunners for Rings of Power also in the early stages were saying how dedicated they were to the IP. So the difference is they were liars and pieces of crap. Henry Cavill is not a liar or a piece of crap. I'm not hearing anything, though, like he wants to provide people with a diverse universe, or that Warhammer reflects the way, they want to do Warhammer so that it reflects the world as it should be. You hear anything like that from Henry, then we're in trouble. First of all, it's not his usual language. Anytime he mentions stuff like that, it's because he's been told to plug for it. As an example, when he was promoting the Enola Holmes 2 movie, he began rambling about diversity and race. Not his usual talking points or language. All these actors end up having to do it. They get interviewed for any movie or show, and they're told to promote certain aspects and not mention certain others. It's how you get John Cena praising China before his movie releases over there. But if for Warhammer, if Henry begins dropping words like diversity, real world as it should be, strong women, a million different talking points and signals, you hear anything like that, it will mean he is folding under pressure, and the Warhammer show and movies will be woke and break from or pervert the canon. But there's also pushback on it too. So Amazon actually has allowed some good stuff to get released. It's probably not the direction they want to take it, but on some level, they like money also. But I think all the signs of something that's going to truly end up being great are here. So we'll see. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys later.